Hello, I'm Jamie.
Hello, I'm Mark, and it's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate.
It's Tuesday night, it's 7:30. It's time for another episode of Through the Garden Gate.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, Stash is here, barking as per usual. Let's get Jamie in. He's outside.
Jamie?
Can't hear you.
Jamie, we can't hear ya!
Yes, you can.
Oh. Hat on again!
I'm outside.
He's outside.
Oh, it's cold.
Well, Jamie, for once, don't take it off.
I might, if I get too hot, I will.
Evening,
Oh, I'm
Jamie.
outside. Hello, George.
Look what that person there says, George.
I look really zoomed in.
Yeah. Well done, Newcastle.
Do you know who that is? That's Debbie,
Oh,
who I
yeah.
work with.
Oh, don't
Well done, Newcastle.
Well done, George, today, because look what George has got round his neck.
I can see he's got a medal. What's that all about?
So I went to my football training thing. They were holding a skills school, and they picked out 4 best that took part in and listened and behaved well through the session.
Yeah.
And I got picked for it.
Well done. Brilliant.
Round of applause.
Excellent. Fantastic, mate. That's really good.
Good evening, Christina.
Hello, Sissy. What have you been up to, George, apart from winning medals?
Not a lot.
Not really a lot.
Haven't you got a massive garden to go and play in?
Yep.
Yeah, but
You did have lunch out in the garden, didn't you, on Wednesday? No, Monday.
Monday.
Yes. Lovely, wasn't it?
What do you think it is? Thursday?
No idea what day it is. Could be any day of the week, as far as I know. Oh, you've been mowing as well. You mowed the grass.
But it was nice to have your lunch outside, George.
What?
Nice weather. Nice weather to have your lunch outside.
Yeah.
Not today, though.
No.
Not today.
It's been raining today.
Yeah, we were playing football in the freezing cold whilst playing football in the rain as well.
Yeah, that's all right. Never seen a rusty boy.
That's what proper footballers do, isn't it?
I've played in Lightning before.
Yeah, there you go then.
Won't hurt you.
I've played through Lightning, so I can play through rain.
You got a fact for me?
No, because it was unscheduled. Because he was on last week.
Disappointing.
Yeah, I was on that last week, and then I am probably swimming
Disappointing,
next week. So
George. You should have a couple. You should have a couple up your sleeve, ready to pull out just in case.
Yeah.
That's your tasks. Get a couple up your sleeve ready.
Ready?
What have you been doing, Mark?
Gardening, mostly. Working hard.
Good thing, isn't it?
Do you know what me and Mummy were saying? You know the day that our veg garden's in?
Yep.
Take a week off work, get some friends over and work on the veg garden for the whole week.
Yeah. Bring your camper van, we're doing the veg garden for a week, Jamie.
I need to spend a week on my veg garden.
Don't we all?
Yeah. I'm hoping over Easter, that's it. I'm going to just blitz it.
Just need
Absolutely blitz
pray for
it.
the weather gods. Pray to the weather gods.
Can't sit inside when I got time off like that. It's got to be done.
Hello.
Right, go on then. Off you go.
See you, George.
Say good night to everyone.
Bye.
Appreciate if you took the dog as well. It's annoying already.
Yeah, I desperately need some proper time out in the garden.
Well, it's going to take you a week just to sort out your pile of compost.
Oh, God. Did you see that?
I did. I will say,
If you,
you did watch them and film them do it.
I
You could have stopped them.
didn't. It wasn't my film. Wasn't my camera.
Oh, was it not?
No. And if I played you the actual audio from that video, you would hear a couple of giggling little schoolgirls going, hee 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 hee. Look, James is going to love that. Hee hee. Oh. Hey
That was
Dan,
recorded whilst you were away.
I I was at work, and it's all there, obviously, but it all needs scraping and raking.
And all muddy and mixed in with rain now as well.
Oh yeah,
no doubt.
and I won't be shoveling it nice and fresh. There'll be some field dirt under it as well. Never mind. It's what it is. Done now.
Horses had fun.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So this is what else we've been up to as well. We should probably talk about.
We have, yeah.
Salvia.
Yes. Is that the one you got for the weekend?
I might have bought some.
Ah, I see. Sneaky. I was going to say, that's bigger than the ones I got. That looks like a dark plummy colour.
Yes, so I've got Royal Velours.
Ooh. Lovely.
And Pink Mulberry.
Very nice. I love salvias.
They're just the best. Like,
yeah.
I need more and more. They're so reliable. They flower all summer. And they smell nice.
Yeah. So we had a day at Middleton Nurseries.
We did it.
With John, Annabelle, Penny and James, but James wasn't there. He was out doing a show.
Indeed.
But they showed us around and showed us what they were doing and what new stuff they got, and
they had an entire page full of new varieties for this year.
There's about 25 on there, wasn't there?
Yeah, so if you go to any shows, look out for Middleton Nursery because they've got some exciting new varieties.
Mm. So we wandered around the nursery for a couple of hours, and then we went and stuffed our faces on Penny's amazing food.
And hung out with some lovely people, including former podcast host Ben.
Ben was there, Kim was there, and about another 20 people that people might recognise off of Instagram.
Like Gardening with Johnny.
Gardening with Johnny. Standing on your shed, Johnny.
Wrecking his garden, Johnny, from today's stories.
I ain't seen it.
He's broken a pot and he's broken his potting bench, messing around.
Oh dear. That's what you get prattling about, isn't it?
Indeed. But yeah, lovely day at Middleton Nursery. We were looked after
really
very nicely.
Mm.
And it
was very, very good.
50th anniversary of the nursery.
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it? 1975 was a very good year.
Yeah, there was a few good things. Especially 10 years afterwards as well. That was a good year.
What did Kelly just say up there? Hot Lips are the only ones that survive here. Ah, you must be able to get others. They had absolutely dozens and dozens and dozens of different ones.
If Hot Lips survives, Kelly, these ones will probably survive because these are very closely related to Hot Lips.
Are they the woody stemmed ones?
Yeah, so any with a woody stem will probably survive the same as Hot Lips because Lincolnshire's had, weeks and weeks and weeks of frosts, and all of mine from last year that I got from have survived. So
I haven't even checked to see if any of mine are coming back up. I had
them out.
Salvia discolour, smell like black currants but tender. Ooh,
yeah, my what's the herb one called? Salvia, like black currant or something like that. I've got that one, and that one survived no problem, even in a pot rather than the ground.
Yeah, they're brilliant. I absolutely love them. Salvias and GMs, they're my favourites.
I also
and they had both there. What's that one?
Little micro tomato.
Micro tomato in a tin.
In a tomato.
My micro tomatoes are rubbish.
Do we need to do a swap? Because I've got absolutely tons.
Mine are
I've got
like
5.
that. They're still not. Yeah.
This is the biggest one out of them. This one is Metallica.
Lovely. No, mine are tiny. I don't know why.
I've probably got 2 or 3 that size, and then the others are probably half of that. But yeah, they are doing pretty well.
Mine are. But like you saw when you come to mine last week or the week before, that I need to pot on all mine in the hot hut. So I've got a hell of a weekend coming up if I need to get all that done and sort everything else out.
We had a morning in the polytunnel at work. Obviously it was raining this morning, so I thought whilst it was raining, we'll get some inside jobs done. So we potted on a load of seedlings and stuff.
Yeah,
good. But yeah, we need a session like that at home as well.
Yeah, I do. Desperately.
Pot on and stuff.
And start sowing some more stuff as well.
Yeah, I did some squash at work today.
I ain't done any of that yet. That's still all right. Plenty of time for that.
Oh, still plenty of time. Yeah.
I haven't sown any flowers yet, though. I've normally sown my cosmos and everything but now, but nothing.
I've done statice, caduceus, sunflowers. What else? Nicotiana. And a few more. But yeah, not loads.
Yeah, I ain't done any yet. Need to get on it.
But cosmos are still quite early because cosmos are, again, don't like frost. So if we get any late frost, that can give them a bit of a whack. I've also potted my dahlias on that Joe sent me. Norfolk Blue Doors, Joe. Not doing anything yet, but they're there.
No. I've got some that are in pots and they're not doing a single thing. Nothing. But they are. Plenty of time. Keep telling yourself that, because when we see everybody on Instagram going, I've done this, I've done that, this is growing, this is sprouting, you think, oh my God, but it don't matter.
Behind. But all you need is like a good few hours to just crack on, and you feel so much more at ease, because I was the same until this weekend. And me and Steph had a really good sort of sowing and potting on session in the garden, and it was like, I've done, I'm started.
Yeah.
There's something done.
As soon as I've got my polytunnel door sorted, then I'm going to get my tomatoes in there and get them potted up, and that'll give me some space. But at the minute, I can't do nothing with them. I got nowhere to put them until the doors have done.
Have you got? Do you know what your last frost date is in Norfolk for this year?
It's. I don't know if does it change every year. I thought it was just an average.
Maybe here and there it might change.
I think it was May the 12th or something, 15th, somewhere around there.
But you're still like a month away, so yeah, it's still absolutely early for. Don't start worrying anybody that you've missed the boat or anything. No, it's plenty of time. Plenty of time for stuff. It really has. And if you are too late, at any point, just go buy some.
Exactly.
Because there's always garden centres selling the plugs and potted plants, so you can always 12th of May.
Oh, look, I was right.
So that's less than a month, then.
Less than a month.
15th day, isn't it?
It is. My son's birthday. Unbelievable. My son is 29. What? My son is only 10 years younger than you, Mark. It's ridiculous.
29?
Yeah.
Wow.
It started early.
I bet it doesn't feel like 29 years ago, does it? Time just flies.
Oh, it's crazy. Crazy. And it goes quicker the older you get as well. Yeah. Feels like it.
Like slow.
Feels like it. Right, that's enough rambling. Let's get our guest in. I'm glad I got my hat on.
Yeah, it's a bit cold this evening. I think it's because it didn't really get that warm today, has it? So it's cooled down quicker. So tonight's guest is an allotmenteer currently studying their RHS Level 2, a RAGS student gardener, and has designed a beautiful border for Gardeners World Live in Birmingham this year. Let me introduce Donna Sutton at the Granary Garden.
Jenny just said she's sowing 40 sweet corn. You need to make a mouse swing, Jenny. Keep them away from them.
I need to
The
do
swings work perfectly. They didn't touch any of my peas.
Hello.
Hi, Donna.
I need a hat.
Why? Why am
Need a hat.
I outside and you're not? This is not on.
Well, that's because I've just put my toddler to bed and I'm at the furthest side of my house and this is the only place I can get internet signal. So I'm just sat in the corner on the chair, as far in the corner as I can get. Can't move.
Okay, I'll let you off. That's a good enough reason.
Yeah.
Good.
It is, yeah. How are you?
I'm really good, yes. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I bet things are starting to get a bit busy and hectic for you.
Yeah, they definitely are. I was in college yesterday doing some beautiful border prep, so tending to the plants, potting on, and then I'm going to go back in tomorrow to do some more because some have started flowering, even though the show's 2 months away, so I'm having to chop their heads off to slow them down.
Oh dear.
I know, but I just saw our salvias and we've planted them out at work today.
Mental, isn't it? That's because we've had 3 or 4 weeks of lovely warm weather, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's like, yay, let's go.
Ridiculous. Right then, Donna, let's start back at the beginning, shall we?
The beginning.
Why gardening? Where did gardening come from?
Well, so after maternity leave, I was going to go back to the accountancy job that I did, and I just thought I just couldn't bear to leave my son for that many days a week, and I was so jealous of who would be looking after him, and I just thought, I can't do it. I want to be with him. And so then me and my husband sat down and he said, right, you need to do something that you're going to really love, because obviously you're finding it so hard to not be with him. And I was like, right, okay. So he was like, right, so what do you really love? And I was like, doing my allotment. And he was like, okay, well, do that then. And I was like, that's not a job. Like, you can't do that as a job. Can't. And then, but the thing is, nobody tells you at college or at university that horticulture is even a thing. Like, I only found out through researching from that conversation. Before then, it's just not really known, is it? All the kind of routes you can go into in horticulture. So that's when then I started, hit Google, and I found a like garden contracting job. So where we did like 5 gardens in a day. That was one local to me. And then my husband went to a meeting with one of his clients and was talking about like his family, and said, oh, my wife's had this, decided to do a career change. She's not going to be an accountant anymore. She's going to be a gardener. And he was like, whoa, you need to get her to come talk to me. I take WRAG students on and they've all studied the RHS, so I can definitely give her some information. So went for a chat with him, and kind of the rest is history, really. I started with him a month later, done the WRAG scheme, and joined my RHS course at the same time.
Brilliant. Can you explain what the WRAG scheme is, please?
Yeah, so it's kind of an apprenticeship in gardening. So you do 2 days a week in a garden. Like, the gardens are listed across the UK, so mine's obviously in North Yorkshire. And you basically get a full year, so you see every single season, and there's a list of tasks you have to complete, so seasonal tasks. So basically you're just making a portfolio of tasks, so you kind of know what needs to be pruned in winter, what seeds you'll start sowing in spring. So you learn this all in your garden, and basically at the end you get the certificate to say that you can complete all these tasks throughout the season. And then move on to something else. Like, most of the gardens actually keep their RAGS trainees on because it makes sense. You've just trained them up. Why send them somewhere else? But obviously once you've finished it, you might decide you want to go into something different, because there's so many different areas. Like some people do rag schemes in flower farms. I've obviously done it private garden. Some of the big estates do the rag scheme. So there's lots of different avenues that you can go down to do it, but it's just 2 days a week, so you could always work alongside it.
Yeah.
You know, if you were struggling like with a career change and how to make it work.
So you get paid
It's
for those
just
2 days?
Yeah, so you get paid for those 2 days. Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's so good.
I didn't know that. I've heard of rag scheme, but I didn't know it was, you know, you get paid for it and things.
Yeah.
My brain's now ticking, tick, tick, tick.
It's so good. And the thing is, we need more gardens. So there's so many people that I've referred to do it, that want to do it, like from my course, and people that have contacted me on my Instagram. But there's just not enough gardens that are joined in to the scheme to take on the students. So there's kind of an imbalance. So if anybody wants to join the scheme gardens, please Google rags and contact them.
I suppose it needs to be quite a big garden.
Sorry. I had the opposite problem because I was trying to get a rags trainee for where I work, but there was no rags trainees in Lincolnshire.
Oh, no way.
So I was offering up the garden to them, and they were like, really sorry, we haven't got any candidates for you. So
wow.
We had to go down a different avenue to get people, because it was a shame that, you know, we couldn't provide such a, you know, wealth of stuff that people could have learned in the garden where I work. So
yeah, I mean, maybe that's just where you are actually, because I know in North Yorkshire there's not enough gardens, but I know there's a lot more gardens down south than there is up north.
Yeah, so it needs to be quite a big garden, I suppose, doesn't it, with a head gardener?
Well, you can do it as a contract gardener. So the contract gardening firm that I did work for beforehand, she joined it after I'd left. So
okay,
you have to be able to complete, I think it's 85% of the list. So I guess, you know, doing things like contract gardening, you're going to do all the lawn aspects, all the hedge trimming. You'll be doing parts of the garden design. You'll be doing all the seasonal things that you'll be doing. It's just in a bigger garden, there's more scope for different things.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm going to have a look at that. I've said so many times I'd love to get out of what I'm doing and, you know, move into gardening, but how do you do it, you know, apart from starting right at the bottom and, you know, earning peanuts where you know, I'm nearly 50 years old. I've got to be able to run this, you know. You got to, I can't just go down to £0.
Exactly. That's why I think.
But if I can still work 3 days a week doing my normal electrical stuff and then going and doing that as well, that sounds brilliant.
Exactly. That's why I think it's really good for career changes. It's kind of that stepping stone, isn't it, that you can still earn from the rags and from another form of employment.
Yeah, that's the experience, isn't it? It's the experience everybody needs.
Yeah.
Before you go out on your own and, you know, get your own customers, I think that would be brilliant.
And you've seen every single season, and you have like complete it's like a 9-page document that you send in every month of what you've obviously been working on. But you can just make a portfolio of them to refer back on. You know, the kind of things that you're doing each month. So it's kind of invaluable. And the fact that I'm doing the RHS alongside it, it's like a double whammy.
Yeah. How are you finding that then?
The RHS. Good. Really good. There's just, I can't believe how much there is to know.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, just even the plants, the idents, there's so many. I think we do 120 across the first year.
Wow.
It's insane. But yeah, it's really good to be on a course of people that love gardening too. I feel like I did the career change and then there was nobody that I knew that liked gardening, and I was like, oh my gosh, where's my little gang? I had my little accountancy gang, and now I don't have a gang. So that's why I got involved in the Instagram, and then obviously when I got on the course, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm with all my little friends now. We can all talk about plants all day.
Found your crew.
So is that Is the RHS level 2 classroom based, or can you do any of it at home?
So you could do it all at home. You could do it online. My colleague who I work with at the garden on the rags, he's doing it all online.
Right.
But I just wanted to do it in person. That's just how I learn better.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the practical one this year, and that's a full day. And then the theory one's half a day. And I start that in September, so it's good.
Wow,
And
I've heard several things about the RHS level 2, and there's lots of twos and against. But what? So you're happy with it? You love it, do you?
yeah, I really do love it. For the level 3, the college that I'm at offers the City of Guilds one.
Okay.
Level 3, which I'm still like. I'd still be happy to do anyway, as it's a level 2 qualification at the end of the day. You'll be learning that standard of knowledge. So
you can do level 2 without doing level 1. Is level?
yeah,
I guess level 1's really basic, is it?
I think level. Yeah, I don't even know if there is a level 1.
Oh, wasn't there?
No. Well, there might be, but when I went in with literally no knowledge at all,
Right.
they were like, "Yep, level 2."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wonder why in my head that normally starts at 1 and works up.
But it's kind of like an MVQ. So, do you get MVQ level 1s? Are they like your GCSEs or A levels?
April said she's done some units on the level 1, so there is one.
Oh, there is one. There you go.
Yeah, so there is one. So you jumped a level.
I jumped somehow. I don't know how. Maybe that's why it's tough.
I guess you can choose. If you're paying, you can do what you want, I suppose. It's up to you if you work hard enough, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very true, to be fair, because I know some people have asked to do the level 3 and they've not done the practical level 2, and the tutor just said it's just going to be harder for like you can put in a bit more work to learn another bit.
Right. Level 2 GCSE.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Thank you, Kim. Yeah. Right. So how long does it take to do the level 2 RHS course?
So you could do them both together. So some people on my course are doing like the practical in the day and the theory during the night. It's all on the same day. And that's 1 year. But then when I signed up and spoke to the tutor, I said, well, I'm doing the WRAG scheme. I'd like to do the RHS level 2. Plus I've got a 2-year-old. What do you think about me doing practical and theory together? And she was like, no. Don't do that.
Crazy.
Just don't do it. And then I took on a beautiful border, so like
Exactly.
what more do I need?
So you have a year to do all of it, or is it not a set time? It's a year.
It's a year if you're doing it at the college. Whereas like my
Right.
colleague who's doing it online, he's got 2 years to do it. But
Okay.
there's set times of year when they have the exams. So for the practical that I'm doing, we just had one in March and then we've got another in June.
Mm-hmm.
And for the theory, they have one in February and one in June. So even if you did it online, you choose either the February or the June sitting.
Okay. So you have to go in for the exams, obviously.
Yeah.
At them specific times.
Yeah.
Ah,
So if you missed the February one, you could just do module 1 in June then if you were doing it online, but not if you're doing it in person.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, Kim's doing it online.
Oh, is she? Well, the practical one for me was strange because all my accountancy exams have been like written or on the computer, but the practical RHS, somebody's watching you prick seeds out or watching you ruin a cornice, and it's like odd. I just didn't. I was more nervous about somebody watching me and just it being odd, someone looking over my shoulder, than
chopping your finger.
If I could write
Too stressful.
But I guess in normal life, if you're training someone, that's different. But it's the fact that they're examining you and you're thinking, have I just chopped that right? Have I just done that? So, but it went well.
Well, I should be right at that. I get that every year. Once a year, I have a man follow me around for a whole day over 3 or 4 jobs, and he's looking over my shoulder and checking I do everything correct.
Well,
And
you'll be fine then, 'cause you know what it's
if
like.
if I don't, that's it. I'm out. I'm out of the course. I have to take all the exams again. So that's being an electrician, by the way.
Well, still.
You're
Yeah.
not
So
allowed to be
he's
an electrician anymore.
no. If you fail it, that's it. You got to go and start again. Not the whole lot, but you have to go and reset some stuff and have him follow you around again.
Oh, wow.
Pressure.
And I have to pay £750 for the joy of it as well.
That's so much.
I hate it. I don't sleep for 2 days when building up to that. It's absolutely horrible.
That's nearly more than my course cost.
You know.
Wow.
That's
That's
just so I can go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. So I saw a little birdie saying that you grew all your flowers for your own wedding. What is that about?
Yeah.
How stressful is that?
It was stressful because they all flowered the month before. Well, not all of them.
Oh,
I did use some of them. So then I had to contact a nursery last minute and say, right, these have just flowered. Can you give me some? And she was like, yeah.
wow.
So I had like 4 bed of gypsophila that had all just gone over. So I ended up having to get all them in. But I did do quite a lot of foliage in the bouquets and displays because I was so new to floristry that I just thought I don't know what will last. 'Cause I had to prepare the bouquets on the Wednesday, getting married on the Saturday, and then I did all the table displays on the Friday. So I was like, right, things need to last and not need clean water. And so I ended up using eucalyptus and Love in a Mist and Lysianthus, I think it was, which I tried growing this year and it didn't work.
Typical.
So, but I've got gypsophila again. So a lot of the flowers that I had in my wedding bouquets and design displays, I've put in my design for the beautiful borders. Because it's all about cultivating connections. So that's like the connection to the wedding. And that's when I first did like a proper course on floristry. I did one of the Create Academy Willow Crosley like flower arranging courses because it was lockdown. So I thought, let's go do this. So I did that and then thought, right, now we have to figure out how to grow them. And then did them and it actually pulled it off. But I don't know if I'd do it for somebody else.
That's brilliant because it's enough stress when you're getting married, let alone having to do that as well.
Yeah. My husband did say, I said, oh, I want to do the cake. And he was like, you're not doing the cake. Like, okay. And that was a good choice.
God,
Get carried away.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
My cake skills are not probably there yet.
God, jeez. couldn't even think about it. And I was the groom. I wasn't even. Unbelievable. No chance.
It was actually fun. I would do it again, but I would definitely, if anyone was doing it themselves, I'd say use more foliage than flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, just to keep the flowers alive. Because obviously when people are doing it for you as a florist, they're probably doing them like that morning or the night before. Yeah. But if it's your own wedding, you don't have that capacity, do you?
Because you've got everything else to sort out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was good. I would do it again. I feel like I want to do the bouquet again, just to like have it.
Have it every year.
Yeah.
There you go. You could do one for your anniversary every year.
True. I should do actually, because I do grow the flowers. You need to put it together.
So what date's your anniversary?
So it's the 31st of July.
Right, we'll look out for that on the 31st of July. I see the bouquet.
No pressure.
They're all the flowers in my beautiful border. So if I've used them all, I'll just be like, it's because they're in there.
Oh, right, okay. That's your get out clause.
That's my get out clause, unless I've got some left. Because they're probably already flowered, like they are now at college.
So when they're at college, so what, have you're allowed to use their greenhouse?
So college is sponsoring me. So they're being my sponsor for all my annuals. So I'm growing the annuals and perennials, but I've got a backup nursery detail plants that have given me some of the perennials in case, you know, it doesn't go to plan. But I have chose first year flowering perennials.
Right.
So fingers crossed, but you just never know. And I've done like 3 succession sowings of everything so far. So I need like 200 plants for the border. I'm going to take 400 plants on the day, but I've grown like 1,000. So I couldn't store that anywhere, whereas college have got all these polytunnels that are different temperatures, the compost, the pots, and obviously the knowledge. Like when my plants started flowering, I just went to my tutor and was like, what do I do? Like, I have got succession sowing, but then she was like, right, well, if you just pinch the tips out, they'll just bush out and hopefully flower later, but you're probably going to be using the succession. Yeah. Yeah.
Pinch your tips out and cross your fingers.
Yeah. So, because even when I'd got through, one of the judges, when he messaged back, he said, "Oh, you a lot of your flowers are not supposed to flower till like near the end of June. Like, what's your backup plan?" And I said, "Oh well, when I got married, I sowed them all, and they flowered the month before, so I definitely know how I can make them flower the month before."
Right.
So we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah, if you come and see the border and it's just all green, it means they've flowered.
Gone real wrong.
Yeah.
So your border is going to be at Gardeners World Live at the NEC in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And you've named it Maiden to Mother.
I have, yeah.
Explain this to us.
So the theme that Gardeners World set was cultivating connections. So obviously you can interpret the theme in any way that you want.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to apply, I thought I'd love the theme to be something that could help me to express how I got into horticulture. Yeah. Like express it in the border. So for Maiden to Mother basically represents all the connections I've made along the way that have got me to where I am now. So the first half of the garden is all annual plants. So that represents the maiden phase of my life where everything was really fleeting. I was an accountant, you know, every day was really busy. I was living in the city centre in a flat, going on holidays with my friends, and it was just a really busy time. And then you get to, I've got a bridge and a bird bath, and that's like the transition period. So of me being pregnant and then the transition over into the perennial stage of my life, you know, perennial plants lasting 3 or more years, which is the stage I'm in now. So being a mum and my life where I am and my career in horticulture will hopefully now be my forever career. So it goes from annuals to perennials, and then you've got the bridge. And then to represent me, I've done a small fairy in the annual side that represents me, little me. Not that tall now, but anyway. Then you go across into the perennial side, and there's going to be a bigger sculpture that's like me growing up.
Wow, fantastic.
I know. So it's kind of a little story along the way that's explained in the brief, but hopefully I'll get to explain it to people in person because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Add a
So
bit more.
both Mark and I were involved in gardens last year. It's now starting to rain. Brilliant. And I know quite a bit about the process because very kindly Kim took me on the journey with her right from the beginning. You know, I went and done everything with her. But tell us what happens if you want to do a garden or a border from when you've got your piece of paper in front of you. What do you do to be able to get to it?
The application and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done it through the WRAG scheme. So you can just obviously apply directly to Gardeners World, but the WRAG scheme, when I went to the show last year, I said to my husband, I really want to do one of these borders one day, but obviously I'd no, I'd not even got into horticulture then. It was like, you know, a pipe dream. And then the WRAG put on a talk with Gardeners World Live that told us all about the beautiful borders. And then what the WRAGs offered is they offered us a perspective drawing course, because I definitely can't draw. I'm an accountant. I was an accountant. Like, calculator, yes. Pencil and paper, no. So then they taught us how to draw in 3D, which is the hardest thing ever. Like,
I'm rubbish at
I
drawing.
did tracing paper and then using. I felt like I was 5 again. So they gave us that, and then they also gave us a design course, because being so new into horticulture, you don't necessarily have any design experience, and a lot of people that do apply to Gardeners World Beautiful Borders are garden designers, or, you know, aspiring garden designers. But I obviously have no idea what I want to do, so this was just another avenue. So then you prepare your 3D design and a 2D design in relation to the theme that they set. So each year Gardeners World set a theme. This year it's Cultivating Connections. And then they've got an application form, which I feel like is only a page long. It's really small. Like, you put the brief in and a bit of information about yourself, and then upload your 2 diagrams and send it off. And then 2 weeks after the deadline, they might come back with a few questions. So with me, they said, like, you know, your bridge, what is it made out of? Are you going to be assembling it at the show, or are you going to be bringing it assembled? What form and structure have you got? Like, what are the plants that you've got in your border? And that's when then they came back and said about, oh, you know, we think that they might not be in flower for the show. Do you have a plan B? So they're really good at working with you to get you through the process. But also, I think you don't put that much in the application form. They obviously have questions of what's going on with your border and things. And so then once it maybe took about a month for that process back and forth, and then I finally got the email to say that my design had been accepted, which I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane.
Gotta do it now.
What do I do now? Yeah. But the thing is, you apply in January, find out in February, I think it was, but a lot of the plants that you grow could be started in like October, but you obviously haven't applied to do it, so you're not going to start them in October, hundreds of plants, not knowing, which I assume is why most people don't grow them, and I'm the one that's just decided to do the crazy thing of growing more, which I can only assume. So then once you've got through to that, you go to a site visit, and that's where they tell you everything that happens on the day, where your border's going to be, what they provide for you at Gardeners World, and then you get to meet the other people that are doing the borders, thankfully, because then you've got somebody else that you can talk to and be like, has this happened for you? And follow their journey, to be fair, because there's a few people that are doing loads of things, and I'm like, do you know what, I should probably get my bridge built, because everyone's practically finished theirs. I know I'm growing my plants, but I think a lot of people also get external sponsors for like all their plants rather than growing them, which I think getting the sponsors is the hardest part for most people. I obviously was in a really good position, as when I mentioned it to college, they were really happy to help, and then a guy that I work with, he recommended Detail Plants, the nursery. So I think it's always great if you've got them connections, because being new into the industry, I had no connections. I was like, I don't even know where to start, and why would someone sponsor me when I'm so amateur, kind of thing. But then obviously the board has been accepted by Gardeners World, and for any sponsor, that's great for them to have their logo and everything there. So I think that also helps. But so that's the process, really. It's not a really in-depth process. There's no interviewing. It's more filling in an application. And
Well, scary. I think it might be.
And no, it's definitely not as scary as you think it might be. There's people that do loads of borders as well, year after year after year, before they do like a show border.
Yeah.
But then when I found out that I got through, I messaged loads of people that had done it previous years, because I was like, well, I need to find out how you all did it and give me some advice.
Yeah.
And
What not to do.
yeah, people gave me some really good advice that I definitely need. Like one person said, make sure you take snacks and lots of water. Yes, I definitely need that.
Yeah.
And then another person had said that they were so focused on the medal that they didn't enjoy the process. And I thought, do you know what, that's really interesting. Like, I'm just overwhelmed at the fact that I've got through. So I think if I got a medal, I'd actually burst. So for me, this journey is just too exciting anyway. So, but it's really good for somebody like that to say to you who's already done it.
Yeah.
Has the nerves kicked in yet? Is it right? Oh my God, I've only got, what is it now? 8 weeks?
Yeah.
It's 8 weeks?
They've kicked in because things are flowering. If things hadn't started flowering, I'd have thought, yeah, it's fine. But now I'm like, oh gosh, we really do need plan B.
How many days do you get to do your border? Actually put it together?
So you can go on the Saturday before the show. So you can go the Saturday and then be there the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So 4 days to build your border.
Yeah.
Then the Wednesday, they judge your border, and you have. Then there's the press event, which obviously I don't know what that's like yet. Yeah. And then in the evening there's the award ceremony.
Yeah.
And then the next day, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when it's open to the public. So.
And the hordes come in.
Yeah. So you get your 4 days kind of before to do it. So I'm going to do loads of mock-ups so that I just kind of know what I'm doing. But my parents and my husband are coming. Yeah. What they don't realise yet is how much work it's going to be for them. And
maybe they won't listen to this then.
Just blur this bit out for them. I'll say skip minutes 30 to 35. Yeah.
We'll bleep it out.
Yeah. Literally everyone's just said to me it's hard work for the people that come with you as well, because you know it's a lot of back and forth carrying plants. I mean, if you've got 400 plants, that's a lot of plants to move around. So they're going to help on them first few days. I'm going to get my mum and dad to one look after my son, and then one come in with us, and then swap the next day, and then swap. Yeah. That we've got people, because I didn't really want too many people in building it with me. So I thought if I just have 2, and if I've practiced it enough along the way, then we should be okay. And
how big is it?
It's 3 by 3.
3 meters square.
Yeah. So it's not too big. It's just everything that you're doing around it, I think, isn't it? So like they said, you know, you can obviously plant your plants in the pots in the soil. Don't go taking everything out and planting them in. And I was like, oh right, yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah, definitely that.
And just
on Kim's one, we did that. Every single plant was
in
a pot.
Yeah. So I think that's good and helps you with time, because literally I can just place everything down on the border, and we can all just go around putting things in. But then it's obviously that I went last year and it was raining, but I know the year before it was absolutely blazing sun. Right. Everybody keep their plants watered. So as always with gardening, you're dealing with nature, which is the most unpredictable thing ever. So they've said, like, bring loads of hose pipes and watering cans, just because like one main watering place, and you need to obviously keep them watered, plus tending to your plants. And and obviously you take so many more plants than you need because you choose the best ones, because they need to be show standard, which is what they reiterated in the email when they got back to me about Plan B. That they do need to be show standard. So I think it's just choosing the best ones and then really looking after them, because you're in a totally different environment in Birmingham. Like, even with the wind and then the weather. Like, they even gave us advice of putting some stakes in, putting some fleece around, and putting your plants in there so that they can acclimatise.
Yeah, it is windy. Whereabouts are you on the plot?
So, do you know where the flower market?
Yeah, from the entrance on the end. Where? What part of it?
So it's when you've come in from the car park, you come down and it says you straight away turn left. Do you remember where the borders were last year?
Yeah.
So up the hill.
Mine's right at the bottom of the hill at the start.
Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, thankfully, because up the hill would be quite windy. And
it is windy up there, really windy. Kim's one was right at the top, and it was really windy.
Yeah, and they even said about things like sculptures. You know, think about, now that we've got a plot, think about what's behind your bed, so that you know, if you've got a see-through sculpture, what are they going to see behind it? Like, is your sculpture going to be pointless, or do you know what I mean? It's dealing with that
way round.
Yeah, it's dealing with that environment as well as to how they're going to look at it and what you've got behind you as well that they're going to see.
Yeah.
So
it's things like that. That's good they say that, isn't it? Because I wouldn't think of that.
No, they've been really helpful. But I guess the thing is, there's the beautiful borders, which I've done, and then there's show gardens, isn't there, which is like the level up. So I don't know the difference between, besides the fact that you get a massive plot with a show garden, between like the help you get. Obviously, we've had really good advice and guidance, and I can only assume that if you're doing a show garden, you've done something like beautiful borders before, so you
would have thought
that.
so.
Yeah,
you would have thought so.
Designer as a job.
Yeah, they know what level you're at, your experience, so they'll give as much or as little as you need, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So they have been really helpful, and so have the people that have done it last year or previous years, which is good, because you had one on your podcast last August. Was it Emma? She did the was it she did the autumn one?
Yes.
With the NCT, yeah. Rix had contacted her about it as well.
Yeah.
Well, obviously now I contacted her, not when I listened to your podcast way back when, being like, hey. So yes, she gave me some good guidance too, because obviously she was in a very similar position, having a child as well and managing it all.
It's one bit of advice I can give you, and I think Mark will probably say yes as well. Try and work out exactly how much compost you want in your bed, because if you get too little, you're either barrowing it for miles, or you wait for the forklift and he could be hours.
Oh, really?
Or if you put too much in and you got to get it all out again, it just drains all your time. Luckily, we had lots of people about, so it weren't too bad, because we were putting it in and out all over the place. But the digger drivers are really busy.
Well, there's literally one digger driver for the whole site.
Yeah.
So if you want anything from them, you've got to pester them.
Oh gosh! Right, so I'll bear that in
mind. When I was helping, I stuck around at the end of one of the days so that I could pester the driver when everybody else had sort of cleared off. So I got the compost sorted for the next day in the evening, when it had sort of cleared out a bit and everybody else was not pestering them anymore. Because it's literally two guys that sort of do all of the delivering of stuff to the borders.
Yeah.
But how do you even know how much compost you need? Surely you just need a full bed and plant in it.
Well, we said 3/4 because we knew we were digging out for there was some landscaping, and I was putting a stream and things in, so we didn't want to have a full bed and have to take it all out again.
Okay.
But if you're fairly flat, I suppose. You could probably say full bed then.
I think I'd do full bed, and then it might be easier to take out than add in.
Have a few wheelbarrows out if you need to.
Yeah.
And don't forget, it'll sink. Once it's full, it'll sink down once you're walking all over it as well.
Can I have it over full, please?
Can I have it full and some barrows around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which they did say they do add it in, don't they? And they do change things on the day, because I know that one of the people I contacted, he had his border extended because when he actually planted it up, he needed more space, and they obviously did that. But the key thing is obviously getting there on the Saturday rather than, so I've got the time for in case these things are wrong.
Definitely. Yeah. Use your time. It'd be better to do nothing on the Tuesday afternoon, sit back and look at it, than be rushing on a Wednesday morning.
Yeah, I will be helping everyone else then.
Exactly. That's a good attitude to have.
Running around. If I'm not at my border, just be like, she's definitely at somebody else's then. Come and find me. And then
It's a lovely feeling like that when you're there. Everybody does help each other out.
It is brilliant. I had a fantastic 4 or 5 days doing that. It was really, really good.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun. And there's a lot of people from the RAGs that are doing it as well that I've connected with. So it's going to be fun to see them do it too. Because I've kind of followed their journey as well. And of it, well, loads of people, everyone that I met, I've been following their journey. So it's just good to see how everybody's, their different ideas and how they've interpreted the theme.
Yeah.
It's just so good. They must get so many applicants.
Yeah, it's a big thing to get chosen, I suppose, isn't it? It's lovely feeling.
Yeah, it does feel really good. But we're just gonna see how it pans together. I kind of also want to pick the border up and bring it home and just put it in the middle of my garden as it is.
Are you going to have a sell-off on the Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, the annuals won't really sell, will they? Because they'll just gone over. So, but then I would also like to bring some home as like memories, like that was a plant from my border. So, I think I will do that.
I think it's about 2 o'clock on the Sunday. They say, right, you can start selling off.
4
and it was like mayhem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was just people going everywhere. I want that one. I want that one. I want that one, and you just all ripping them out because they're in the pots again. Yeah, £5, £10. Crazy.
Oh my God. See, when I went last year, I went on the Thursday or Friday, so I have no idea what it's going to be like on the Sunday. I'm just going to be like, whoa. Take what you want.
You get people coming around in the morning of the Sunday and saying, I want that, but I'll come and get it after 2 o'clock or whatever time it was. So you have to put a little tag on it, sold or something.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be
honestly
mental.
It was mental. It was crazy.
Are you helping again this year?
No. I might be going on, standing on the Green Fingers one for a little bit. Did you get that email, Mark?
No, don't think so.
Oh, it might be there, but we got an email from Green Fingers because we're Green Fingers ambassadors. They've asked if we could go and do a shift on their garden because they're having a garden built. So I might go and do that for a bit.
Yeah, definitely do. You definitely will. You both come anyway?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'll
come at some point. Yeah, it won't be a day. I'll come at least one day.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, definitely.
That'll be good.
Come and see you.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I'm just
fingers crossed for the weather.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
Fingers crossed. It's just in between, not raining, not boiling, but just nice, so that everyone can walk around and the plants stay alive.
I mean,
it wasn't too bad last year. There was one really bad.
The last 2 years it's been polar opposite, though, haven't they? Because not last year, the year before was red hot.
Yeah.
Then last year it was good for the whole build, and then some of the days were really wet, weren't they?
Had a really wet day. I remember one of them was absolutely hammering it down, and everyone was just under cover all day near enough.
Yeah, exactly. That must have been the other day that I went. Because I went and I literally looked around all the borders first because I thought, right, it was so quiet because I got there as soon as it opened. Walked
Yeah.
around, looked at all the borders, and thought, I've got to do this in life. And then we went inside to the good food bit.
Yeah.
And then we came back out at like 11. You couldn't get to any border. It
No,
was
no.
like rammed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. So everyone that's coming, I've said, come see the borders, the first thing you do,
Yeah.
no matter what. And then go totter off and do everything else, because if you come out at lunch, it must be when the presenters come to, because there's a stand, isn't there, that a garden that some of the presenters stand at. I can only assume that that's why.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it does get really busy really quick.
yeah.
Really quick.
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
that's it. Jenny said everybody heads in when it rains. Exactly.
Yeah.
Gardens out
So,
when it's raining
yeah.
with an umbrella.
Yeah, I should take an umbrella. That's actually a really good thing. That
Yeah.
I should probably add to like my list of needs besides a high vis.
Yes,
You
don't
need
forget
high
that.
vis. You
get
can't
told off.
come
Yeah,
on site while you're building without a high vis.
Gosh, I'm gonna get high vis that's personalised.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'd have said you guys need to give me one of your hats, but it's gonna be too hot.
It
So-
will be too hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll be too hot.
Hopefully it'll be too hot. Gonna get some high visors, gonna get some umbrellas then, and hope we don't have to use them.
Yeah.
Watering cans.
Watering cans, yeah, hoses. Do you know what I should get? Like a gazebo, so if it does rain, I can like put it over my border. People can come in.
Yes, 3x3. You can get them that size, can't you? That'd be perfect.
One of those ones you just pull out. And
Yeah.
Pop up one. Fantastic. What a good idea.
Everyone come stand under my border, please. Don't stand on the border. Just at the side.
Had sides
Yeah.
on it as well. That'd be like properly protected.
Lock everybody in.
Yeah. Not leaving until it's finished.
That's a good idea, though. If it does pee down, you can still work on it a bit, can't you?
Yeah, if you come this year and you see everyone with them, it was my idea.
Yeah. That's quite good though, because you should be able to get your car right up to the border to unload it right in front of it.
They said you can drive it right up to it, so that's good. I don't think I should drive it right up to it because my driving skills are not. There's a chance I might crash into it, so we should definitely let someone else drive the vehicle up to it.
Is it always going to be 2 sleepers high or 1 sleeper?
Yeah, two sleepers high, and mine's a square one, not a rectangular one, because mine fits better with the square.
Right.
So that'll be good.
I think it's crazy how they come back so well, because when we went, like you did, there's nothing.
No.
You can't even hardly see where the borders had been, 6 months ago.
I literally thought the same thing. I thought we were going to see like brown patches of earth where they put every year, but with the beautiful borders, they brought them further forward this year, so they're further down the hill as well. I don't know why. Maybe people said we can't have that many on the hill because it's extreme weather, but I don't know. But there's 3 of us that are right at the bottom.
Oh, wow.
Oh, right. So that right at the bottom must be down near where that coffee truck is. Is that what you're saying? Is the coffee trailer right down there? Is that where you are?
There is a coffee trailer. I don't know if you're meaning the one right outside the entrance.
No, not outside the entrance. So if you're standing with that coffee one to your right, you just round the corner to the left.
Yeah.
Just round the corner.
Yeah.
Ah, right. I know where you are. Yeah.
So there's going to be the RAG stand on that corner, and then all of us that are RAG students are kind of going up the hill, and then past us is the people that aren't RAGs.
Oh, so they've put you all in a line.
Yeah, I think there's 9 of us that are RAGs.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And then there's 20 that are not. Yeah.
That's loads, isn't it?
I know.
Right, little community.
I know. It's going to be so much fun.
You'll have a great time building as well. You really will. That was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because I had my van there. I had my work radio out and was blasting music out. It was brilliant.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can't wait. I really can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait, but then I can. do you know, like everything's not ready yet. So I feel
Yeah.
like when everything's ready, I'll be like, okay, let's go, let's do it. But right now, I'm just enjoying working on everything and getting it all done. The really good thing about doing it at college is that everyone on my course helps. So when I need to prick out or pot on, people will stay behind and help, and I'm like, oh, so grateful, because I don't know how I would do it with this, you know, just how many plants there are. It's a lot
Yeah,
to do.
definitely.
600 plants is a lot of plants.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I think you either grow them yourself and do it how I have and get a college to sponsor you that's got students, or you're gonna have to get somebody to provide you all the plants.
You would struggle doing it if you didn't have the college, just for the space, really. You think that's fine when they're all in little seed trays, but it's the same old thing. As soon as you start going from a seed tray to a small pot and then a big pot, that's it. The space is just disappears.
Yeah, it's unreal. And the thing is, where I'm doing my RAG scheme, they said, oh, you can store it in our polytunnel, because they've got a huge polytunnel, which is great. But then I'd have been having to go when I'm not working into their, like, can I come and just tend to the plants, which is not ideal. Whereas college is open Monday to Friday, so I can go any day not there, which is fine.
Yeah.
In kind of a better way. But also, as well as doing succession at college, I've got one of my friends who used to be the head gardener at the garden I'm working at now. She's growing me some of the plants, and I'm actually doing some at home, just because, you know, if some zombie apocalypse happened at college and all them ones went, then we've got some more.
Backups.
Yeah. I've got backups, and I've got backups in different varieties, but that look similar. So, like for the gypsophila, I've got Amimajus, just in case, the gypsophila, if that, and some Orleia. So they look similar. So the design will still look the same, but if all the gypsophila are flowered, we've got a backup in a different variety that might hold on. So that's kind of, we've got different people doing things.
That's what you need.
That's good.
Backup plans.
All the backup plans. I'm just going to have to go around with a truck and collect them all, or say to everyone, here's loads of plants, because I've got way too many. Which is probably the better position to be in.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be stressing that you haven't got enough.
No, definitely not. I definitely think I will have enough. The thing is, when you're doing it, it's like, the thing that's hard for me at the minute is picturing it in real life. So obviously I've seen it in the drawing, and I know the heights and everything of my plants, but like, how are the grasses actually going to look against the flowers? How does, like, the bridge on my drawing looks like you can see it really, really well, but how's that going to look when you put the flowers actually around it in real life? Oh, that's like,
so when you said you're going to do a mock-up, what do
so I am going to do
mean?
mock-ups. So I'm going to take, at college, I'm going to draw out the bed, the 3x3, and then obviously if I've got all my plants at college, I can just take them out and put them in where they would be.
Okay.
And I can see,
so what, like a week or so before you go, type thing?
Yeah, I'm going to do so many mock-ups. Just going to keep going. I'll have to take, like, my parents and my husband and be like, take notes. I want notepads out. Come on, this is your part. You're doing this part.
After photos after photos. Just
yeah. So we're going to do it like that, I think, but it'll be fun.
Will be fun, definitely.
Great fun.
It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. Really loved it. Yeah.
I'm glad that I've done.
But then I wasn't the designer, so I suppose there's a different side to it if you're designing it. I just stood there and did what I knew or what I had to do, and that my bit worked fine.
You need to design one.
Oof.
You should design one together.
Possibly.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You should definitely do that. Next year.
Maybe.
Watch this space.
We've got about 20 minutes left, and I completely forgot. You did mention your allotment, but we need to hear about your allotment
Yep.
because, come on,
The
everybody
granary
loves the
garden.
allotment. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got 9 growing beds. And the past 2 years I've not used them all because of having my toddler. 9's a lot. So
Yeah.
I've used 5. But I've got one that's been designated to herbs, and then the other ones are just various different veggies because I love growing veggies. The thing that I did to begin with when I first started growing is I grew everything and then realised this is not the way to go. So then I narrowed it down and tried to be more self-sufficient in things. So garlic, onions, they were really easy for me to be self-sufficient in. And I think a really important thing when you're growing your own food is to grow what you eat, what you enjoy, but also eat seasonally.
Yeah.
So then you don't need to be self-sufficient in tomatoes all year round, because when the tomatoes aren't available, you're going to be eating the carrots, you're going to be eating the parsnips, you're going to be eating the sprouts. So it's not necessarily self-sufficient as in having tomatoes available all year. It's being self-sufficient in the things you need all year, like the garlic, the herbs, the onions.
Yeah.
But then the other things, yes, you're going to have a huge glut of courgettes. I think, like me and you talked about it last year, Jamie, with recipes. We need recipes. But the thing is, you just got to go through a few months of liking courgette because you're going to have so much and it doesn't freeze well.
No, it doesn't.
So, no.
Mark wouldn't know that.
Do you think
courgette and squash were a disaster in my garden last year because of the slugs. They just ate every plant I planted.
No, everyone.
Yeah, it was awful. I think I had about 3 squash.
I think you had 1 courgette, wasn't it? And that was right towards the end.
Yeah, it was in about the end of September. Big.
Oh, you could have told me. I could have packaged you some up.
Yeah.
Send them over.
I don't. They might have been squashed, but still, I could have bubble wrapped them and everything. Sharing, that's what we need to do. But
my problem is that nobody in my family likes courgettes. It's only me. So I need recipes where I can hide it or make it taste amazing.
Like courgette tempura. That's what I do all the time. That's like everybody's got to like that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, with some sauce. But yeah, but that's what I do basically with the allotment. Really, is just grow things I like. I did try doing sweet corn 1 year, 2 years in fact. 1 year I got 1 cob, but the other year I got 2, and I was like, for all that effort, like that's just so sad. So I don't grow sweet corn anymore at all.
Oh, I have to. It's amazing.
But how do you get lots?
I had, I think about 30 plants in a big block, and each one had 2 on at least.
Okay, so you're doing. I did like 4 plants. I was gonna get like 20.
Oh, amazing! I've still got some in the freezer. Brilliant. But to rip a sweet corn cob off the plant and open it and eat it raw straight off the plant is the best tasting in the world. Absolutely amazing.
I can imagine
so sweet.
Yeah, because I have the same with eating like peas. Like me and my son will walk around the allotment eating peas and kale just off the plant. Like there's nothing like it, and nothing tastes like that at all. Like I know everybody says it that grows their own veg, that it tastes better, but it genuinely.
Yeah.
So,
but when you get people come round, and we have friends, come walk, I have a walk around and say, taste that, they mind gets blown. They don't realise how things taste.
And I don't think people realise how certain things look. Like my friend came round with her son, and I said, you can have one of them cucumbers, and he was like, why is it spiky? I was like, they are, that's normal, that's a normal cucumber. But people don't know that because that's not how. I mean, you should see how my carrots come out. They have like 5 legs, so you would never get that
twisted together.
Yeah, you would never get that in the supermarket, would you?
Right.
So, and do you know what? Some people wouldn't buy it because it had 5 legs.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Whereas
unless it's perfect orange pointed.
yeah, but I think if you grow your own, you're definitely not going to eat that carrot because you've just
Sad.
nurtured
Oh
it.
God, yeah. If I don't eat it, the dogs will get them anyway.
I think my carrots might be as big as my dog. She's only a little sausage.
What's your favourite thing to grow then on the allotment,
Oh,
food-wise?
probably kale or
Oh, right.
cavalera. Yeah,
Cavalliniera is lovely.
yeah.
What about tomatoes? Do you grow many tomatoes?
Oh, yeah, but so I grew them okay last year. The year before I had none, but this year I seem to have got 5. So fingers crossed they're okay because they're going to go in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So I grow all my tomatoes, cucumber in the greenhouse. I've got like the ropes.
Yeah.
Grow against there, and then everything else goes in the allotment. I have done potatoes in my beds for the past few years, but they just keep getting eaten by the slugs, so they're going to have to go back to being in pots.
Yeah. I'm doing mine in sacks this year.
Are you? I have actually got a sack from Holland. Have you done
Compost
any sacks before?
Well, I've done them in Hessian sacks last year, and they've done all right. But I think because the Hessian just let the moisture out too much.
Oh yeah.
I think I like the look of them. They look nice. I had them in a row and at the back of the allotment. They look nice. But this year I'm going to use compost bags.
Yeah,
Just inside out with a black bit on the outside, just so it looks quite nice, and just do them in there. I think because I love them, but they just take up too much room in the beds, and
they do. It was a full bed, and to be honest, because I wasn't using all the beds, that was absolutely fine. But going forward, it's not the right thing to do. But you grow so many seeds. I remember the other day I messaged you saying, "Who are all them for?" Like self-sufficient for the whole village. I grow too many, but you are on the next level.
I know. I do. I always do.
He's got ginormous veg beds. They're absolutely huge.
You do have the space for them. You did say you do gift some, which I do really like the idea.
I do give lots away. I do give lots away.
I think that's really nice because the one thing is, with being new into horticulture, I always think, oh, it'd be so nice to give someone these seeds or, a little hamper of these foods or chutneys then, but they don't like that kind of thing. So now I've got my new gardening friends.
Yeah.
They want. Brilliant. So now that's good. So I can get seeds and give them little seeds packets and things and do all the fun courses with them. Whereas before, people just might not be too interested, or they are interested, but not in the same way as a little gardening geek is.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I because I work on building sites quite a lot, and the other day I was on a site, and this plumber I've known for a long, long time, I saw him follow me on Instagram about, I don't know, 6 months ago. And he said to me the other day, he's like a big burly plumber, will you come round and do my veg bed with me? And I thought, why did you whisper? Why did you whisper? You ashamed? Come on.
I know, I love that. That's so cute. I'd be like, yes, let's go.
Let's do it. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going to go do it. I'm going to have a Saturday with him and do it all with him. But why? I think a lot of it is people think, oh, you're a boring old man type thing if you've got an allotment or you love gardening, but it's far from it. Absolutely far from it.
Yeah, definitely. It's more than just gardening, though. I always think, like the fact of just being out there, being able to be outside all the time, the trial and error, the excitement of the fact that a seed germinates, and to be honest, it's quite quick. Your results are, you're not waiting like years for things to happen with growing veg.
No.
You see a seed germinate, and you can do a little germination dance, and it's exciting. So I think
within days there's things popping up in it. It's just magic. It's absolute magic.
Yeah, and I think that people think they have to have a huge growing space to do it, but there's so many ways of just having, a plant pot that you would have your herbs in, or before I even had, a house and had a flat, I had so many different house plants, and how many times you'll see people put videos on about when you get the herbs from a supermarket and splitting them up and putting them into different pots, and then you've got so many herbs for so long rather than, you know, them just dying. I mean, if everyone could just grow one herb, then that'd be great, really. I think it's just knowing that it doesn't have to be on a huge scale, and it can be more like my sweet peas are up the side of my shed. You could do beans, peas up the side of, you know, they like to grow upward. You don't need that much floor space for them in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's just,
there you go, Donna. There's one for you.
yeah.
Growing beans for the first time. Any advice?
Beans. I've got some exciting beans this year. They're like young ones, the black and white.
Yeah, the black and white ones.
Yeah. Have you grown them before?
No, I haven't. I've seen them.
Oh, so growing beans, I do start beans off in pots, little 9-inch pots, usually beforehand. You can sow them directly a bit later on in the season, but right now, if you want to start them off, I'd just start like one in each pot. Get them in your greenhouse, watered. They'll be really happy. Windowsill, windowsill. And then, like I just said, they grow like peas, so you can just grow them up the side of somewhere with some trellis, or just put a bamboo cane in. I did bamboo canes last year and they grew absolutely fine. Just keep tying them in and growing up. And then if you've module sown them now for, you know, an early harvest, then once you've harvested them, pop some in the ground and you'll get another sowing of them, which I'm saying that I've never done that second one because it gets too busy in the year. I always do the first one and I'm like, this is great, and then I'm like, I should direct sow, but time's too busy when you should direct sow.
I don't direct sow much at all. Carrots, parsnips, and a bit of beetroot, really, because there's too much chance of it all getting munched when they're tiny.
Yeah, I don't. I've not actually direct sown beetroot. I'm going to do that in pots, I think, this year, but I always do carrots and parsnips.
Yeah.
Direct. Everything else is pots.
Back to the beans. They're quite hungry, aren't they? Want some good compost or manure or something at the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, give them lots of food, lots of water,
and let them grow.
And the really great thing about beans is what I did last year. Once obviously you can harvest them and use them, but you can harvest them and dry them. So you can dry them and put them in a jar, then use them in cooking later. You can also then, once they've fully dried out, you can reuse them as seeds for next year. Like,
definitely.
Is there anything better? I do the same with my peas. It's just exciting.
It's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's so good. So beans definitely, modules, but
And I always grow climbing beans. I just don't like doing dwarf for some reason. I just don't like dwarf beans. I don't like rummaging around on my hands and knees trying to look through them all.
Do you know what I would like to do? Have you seen the people that have like the arches that go between like beds or in their gardens and they grow flowers on them? You could grow like courgettes or squash or beans or things like that.
Donna, have you not looked at my arch?
I don't think I've looked at your arch.
My arch? She hasn't seen my arch.
How have I not seen your arch? Maybe I have. Maybe that's where I've got the idea from. It's my idea.
It's 10 meters long.
10 meters. Oh, jealous.
Last year, I think I had about 12 or 13 different squash and pumpkins growing through it, and beans and sweet peas.
Sweet peas? Have my sweet peas out.
Sweet peas are lovely, aren't they? God, just the smell is fantastic.
I know, they've done so well. I've got them out at the side of the shed, and I've just pinched the ones out at work actually today. Because they're going to go over an arch. I know, they're so good and they're so easy to grow. I think they're definitely, like, if you were telling somebody to grow something for the first time, do sweet peas.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Because it's like, they're easy to do. Plus, they're like cut and come again. They're just the gift that keeps on giving, aren't they?
Keep picking them and they'll keep coming, yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant thing.
So good. So I would definitely do that.
Kate said it was amazing. You talking about my arch, Kate? Oh, that's really nice.
It was.
Right. We've got 4 minutes till 9 o'clock, so it's time for the lightning
Right.
round. So Mark's got some quick fire questions for you.
Quick fire question.
I know he does because I listen to your podcast.
You should know all the answers then.
Oh, thank you, Kate.
Well, I might have done a bit of research for one of them.
Oh, have you got a list there? She has, hasn't she?
Right. I think she gets a gold star for preparation.
Definitely.
Come on.
So, one favourite band or artist?
Brett Young. He's a country artist.
Oh,
I think I've heard
Yeah.
lovely.
Look that up. The next one, tea or coffee? Tea. Yorkshire tea?
Clipper tea.
Ooh,
No
tea.
sugar because I'm sweet enough. One
Of course.
caffeinated one in the morning and the rest of the day decaf.
Very particular. Next one, beach or forest?
Forest.
Nice.
Lovely.
What's your go-to emoji?
The white love hat or the tulip.
White.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Yeah.
If you could have one snack for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I talked to my husband about this. I said, I'm going to say cherry bakewell, and he said, that's a dessert. And I was like, oh.
No,
You can
you
have
can
it as a
snack on
snack.
Cherry
bakewell.
bakewell, yeah.
Yes.
That's
The
what I want.
best dessert in the world.
Cherry bakewell is gluten-free.
That feels like Yorkshire as well, cherry bakewell.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, bakewell's in Yorkshire,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
That must be why.
Finish the sentence. My perfect day would be.
Cliche, anywhere with my family.
Ah,
I'm fully
nice.
prepared for these questions.
You are.
Every time I listen to your podcast, like over the months, that some answers have changed because I'll be like, oh, actually, I think I've changed that now. Now it's going to be. Yeah, if you asked me in winter, I'd probably say I wanted to be on a beach because it was cold. But
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Sowing seeds or planting out?
Sowing seeds.
Most people say planting out.
Really? Oh no, I just love I love sowing seeds and then waiting for them to germinate. I'm that person that checks on them 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And it is like key seed sowing time, so it's all fresh.
Yeah.
You're not
I love it.
thinking about the planting out stage.
No.
It's all about the sowing and germinating.
Yeah.
Spring or summer?
Autumn.
No. Can't cheat.
Spring.
Well done.
So why would you say autumn then? Sorry, Mark.
I just love that season, like how everything changes in the garden. Like obviously I love all the flowers, but I just love how the plants adapt and change for the seasons, and autumn's just beautiful how it looks.
Yeah.
So I do love everything else when everything's in its full glory, but I think there's so many plants in their full glory in autumn.
It's almost a bonus season, autumn. If you've
There
got
is,
the
isn't
garden
there?
right, it's
Yeah.
just like the whole garden becomes like a tapestry of colour if you've done it right.
And you can sit cozy with your drink and see it all, and I just, autumn.
I think you might have to change that question, Mark.
Spring, summer, or autumn?
Or just which is your favourite season?
Yeah.
You would have allowed autumn, and I'd have been like, see?
Have to change it.
So now when I listen to your podcast, I can answer autumn and be like,
yes.
Do it.
Today's favourite plant?
Tulip.
Any specific one?
Queen of the Night.
Nice choice.
It should have been the one you just put on your grid a little while ago, which you're learning, teaching us. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did want to put a picture for that, but I'm not sure how, so I don't have a picture of one, and they're not obviously growing yet, so I didn't know how to do it. They didn't have any for me to use on Canva, unless I wanted to pay. So I thought, well, you're just not going to have one for this one. The rest of them, there's pictures, but I couldn't think of a way. I'll have to like redo it nearer the exam when there's one here and be like, this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
There you can see. But yeah, I did want to put a picture, but I thought I can't get them for copyright. So
Next one. Unlimited compost or unlimited seed?
compost.
Compost.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Definitely. I do make my own compost, but it takes that long that I can't use it every year on the beds. I don't.
You'd need a hell of a lot to use on like all of your beds,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's just not something achievable just yet. I need like 5 beds.
Well,
5 compost beds.
Even at my work garden, I can't make enough compost. Even though I've got so much material, I haven't got enough space to make compost. That's my problem. I've got enough material, but not enough space.
Yeah. It's just a really hard situation.
It's crazy though, isn't it? How does Charles Dowden do it then? Because he
brings in stuff, doesn't he? That's how Charles does it. He like brings in raw materials for compost, wood chips and stuff.
You should know. You interviewed him.
Yeah, I know.
You've beat it out.
Oh dear.
If you could choose one plant to describe yourself, what would it be?
Right, here we go.
Reading it off the.
I researched the meanings of flower plants.
Oh.
The 2 that I think most relate to me are, there's 2. I'm going to have to be half and half. Like the top half can be a chrysanthemum because that stands for friendship, joy and honesty. And the bottom half is going to be a forget-me-not because that stands for true love and memories.
Wow.
Research.
We've never had anybody go this deep.
I love that.
Brilliant.
I just thought surely there's some. I couldn't think of anything else. I asked my husband and he was like, I don't even know a plant. I asked the guy at work and he was like, that's really hard. And I was like, yeah, but you need to help me. So then I thought, right, I Googled like meanings behind flowers, and Bloom and Wild came up with like loads of different flowers and the meanings, and I thought, read them all, do your homework and find them, and I couldn't choose one. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're doing an RHS level 2, you're doing a border, you've got a toddler, and you've still got time to research one of our questions.
To be honest, though, I've been thinking about it for a very long time because of how long I've been listening to your podcast. So before then, the one before this one was going to be Lily of the Valley because my favourite colour of flower is white, and plus one of the stories behind Lily of the Valley is that it was formed when Eve was sent out of the Garden of Eden and her tears formed Lily of the Valley. Well, one of my friends calls me Eve because I'm so into gardening and nature, and I thought,
wow.
Maybe that's it. But
wow.
then I just thought maybe some people won't get it, so did it. The other one.
Love it. Next one, favourite weed.
Oh, shepherd's purse.
Good choice.
He's got love heart leaves.
Yeah, love heart leaves.
Yeah, definitely.
So
that's also on one of my idents at college, so you'll see that soon.
Good.
Latin name and all.
Yeah, I kept Capsella. It's not. I'm not doing that one yet.
We'll give you a few. And your final one, what would you want your gardening legacy to be?
Oh, this one just changes all the time. So today, it would be that everyone in the world would grow one thing that they eat themselves. So whether it's a herb, a veg, or a fruit, just one thing. If they could grow, if they love thyme, they grew thyme. If they love apples, they got an apple tree. That
Yeah.
would be something that I would love to encourage everyone to do.
Fantastic, that is.
And everybody could do that quite easily,
They can't.
no matter where they live.
Yeah, really good.
If they just chose one thing. So I think that would encourage us all to be in a bit more, not consuming as much external. So
Brilliant.
Good research.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, definitely 10 out of 10. Definitely. Well done.
For research. That's what happens though when you have a guest on that listens to your podcast. You changed one of your questions at one point as well, and I was like, oh no, they made it up. And I had to rechange. Well, I didn't know it was coming on the podcast. That means changed my answer.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, Donna, I've had a lovely hour and a half. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me on. It's been so fun. And I've got more advice from it.
It's been brilliant. It's been really good. And I can't wait to see your beautiful border, which I'm sure it's going to be.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In June. So I'll see you both there in person.
Definitely. 100%.
And if you need any help or advice, our DMs are always
open. Thank you.
You know that.
That's great. I really appreciate it.
Thanks ever so much, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
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 Ah, what an absolutely lovely person. She's a beautiful soul.
Oh, favourite season.
You've
had an impact on the podcast.
That's your through the garden gate legacy, Donna.
Change our question.
Kate needs some help and advice. You can have as much help and advice as you want, Kate.
Is Kate doing a garden?
Sutton, I think. Is she? No.
Yeah. I was going to say she's not doing it. No. Hampton. Yeah, Hampton Court. She's doing like an allotment type one, isn't she?
So tell us any second.
Come on, Kate. I knew it wasn't. I thought she's not doing a blooming Gardeners World Live one as well, is she?
Hampton Court. It was Hampton Court, yeah. Yes, can't wait. Go and see Kate as well. Brilliant.
Are we going to
all these people do garden? I believe so. Have you got a figure ticket? Have you applied?
My thing through, yeah.
Why haven't you been applied?
Crack on. They're like sending out who can come.
Are they? Oh, I'll have a look tonight.
Get on with it. School border, that's it.
Border.
School grow it like a growing fruit and veg and flowers and all sorts of.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Good to see that. Yeah. So many people, so many different people. Because I was talking to Anthony, what's his Instagram? Garden Geek.
Yeah.
At Middleton's, and he's obviously doing one at BBC Gardeners World Live.
Is he?
Yeah. Yeah,
I will. I'll do my application tonight. I've had the thing through to apply, but I didn't bother.
Well, you're pre-applied anyway, aren't you? So you were accepted last year, so it'll just be as soon as you do it, you'll be on. So
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Thank you ever so much, Donna.
Nice to meet somebody new. I did follow her, but I didn't really know much about her, so it's nice.
There are people you can't see everybody's everything, can you, all the time? It's too many, especially you with your 80,000.
Exactly, and I bet there's still people that neither of us follow that are still in the world of gardening. I bet there's borders at BBC Gardeners World of people that have got Instagrams and we don't even know who they are.
Yeah, definitely.
Wonderful thing. You've always got more people to find.
That is the thing. Yep. I don't know whether to go to Beth Chatto's garden tomorrow.
Why? Is it open?
It's open. Lucy's doing the chat there. Talk about a book.
Is she?
Yeah.
Is Beth Chatto close to you?
Essex.
Not too far then.
About an hour and a half.
Start in the light to the dark side.
Yeah. Right. 9:10. Thanks everybody for watching again.
Yes, and watch out Friday in your podcast feeds
Mhm.
this episode, and join us next week. We have got somebody next week, haven't we?
Yeah. I can't remember who it is. Sorry.
Is it in my diary?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. We'll let you know. Have a lovely Easter, everybody.
Yes, have a lovely Easter, and we'll see you
Nice break.
Tuesday after
See you
Easter.
next week.
And we'll all be full of chocolate.
Yeah. And have a perfectly pruned vegetable garden, hopefully.
Yeah, we're all going to get out there. It'll all be done.
Yeah.
Or we'll be really stressed that we haven't done it.
Definitely. Right. Night, everyone.
Night, everyone. See you next
later.
week.
See you, Mark.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Through the Garden Gate.